HD SLR Shooters special coverage of NAB 2017. Sponsored by Akidio, Aperture, Atomos, Band Pro, Blackmagic Design, Carl Zeiss, Light in Motion, Manios Digital and Film, Shape, Schneider, Sakonic, and Xylite.
Hi, Clint with HDSLR Shooter, continuing our coverage of NAB 2017 at the Atomos booth with Tony. And Tony, talk a little bit about the Inferno. You guys have done some crazy updates to it and also some changes in the price. Talk about it.
Yeah, sure. Inferno we announced this time last year at NAB, shipped in about October. We're missing some of the features that we announced with that. But we've gone through and fixed it up. We've got all Cinema DNG RAW announcements are out now. They're in there, come out about a week and a half ago. So we're pretty fully fledged now. Quad Link is the last thing that we've just got to put on, which is about a week or two after NAB. But now the Inferno is ready to go on all of the FS series cameras, Vericam LTs, C300 Mark II and C500. So all the cinema cameras ready to go with the Shogun Inferno. And to celebrate all that, at NAB we've dropped the price from $19.95 down to $12.95.
Oh my God, that's very inexpensive.
Yeah, exactly. So we're doing our best to open up HDR as much as possible, and that sort of headlines the whole range. For a Ninja Flame at $795 for an A7S user, Ninja Inferno for a GH5 user at $995, and then the Shogun Flame and Shogun Inferno $995, $1295. We're trying to take away the excuses to get into HDR and to get into more professional recordings.
Did the updates are now compatible with Vericam for the RAW recording?
Yep, we announced that we would do RAW cinema DNG for Vericam, but what we also introduced was RAW to ProRes. A lot of shooters are wanting the RAW just to unlock the feature from their camera, but don't want to work in a RAW workflow. Or they'll do it once and then go, never again. So what we find more people doing is using the RAW to get it out of the camera, but then recording to ProRes.
Based on the technology that's in that monitor and recorder, you guys have done something else.
We've done something crazy. Yeah. We thought, okay, we're not going to stop there. What are we going to do? So we've launched the big Sumo, a 19-inch. So this takes essentially the entire internal brain of a Shogun Inferno, so 4K 60p recording, HD 240 frames, HDR monitor. This is a 1200 nit bright screen. We've taken all of that kind of core technology and applied it for the first time to a production monitor. So until now, production monitors were just monitors. Now they're going to be monitor recorders, and we've already come up with some use case scenarios and where that's going to make sense, but already on day one of the show, we've had so many people with imagination just going, oh, you should be putting this in, you should be doing that. So just like we did with the original Ninja with a monitor recorder and broke open that market, we're looking to do the same thing with the production monitor. Yeah, so we can explain what it is. It's a 19-inch display. It's got VESA mounts on the back, so you can attach it to a C-stand like the Story and Heart crew have done over the back here, or like we've done here, apply a bat wing, and you've got two Anton Bauer or two V-Lock batteries sitting on the back, and that utilizes what you know as our continuous power. So now you're getting hot swappable Anton Bauers or hot swappable V-Lock batteries on the back. So power in the field is not a problem. Connectivity to it is not a problem. C-stands or your standard monitor mounts are going to be okay. It's all powered off 4-pin power on the back, and you got 4-pin, you got XLR audio as well. So the same thing on the Shogun Inferno, 48-volt phantom power for your Rode mics or your Sennheiser mics is all there, and you can be monitoring, recording it, which is pretty cool. So where we see this being used, there's a few different areas. So we see, for starters, that clients and directors are going to get more hands-on on the set, but not where you want them. You don't want them on the camera around there. You want them away. So this is take it away from the camera. They'll be able to see what HDR is going to look like as a final post-production result on the monitor itself. But because we've got recording, it means they've also got playback. So they're able to dive into clip selections, they're able to scrub fast forward, get back, they're able to tag what they think are their favorites, their rejects there. So they're going to be more engaged with the crew, but also with the project itself, and we think that's super exciting.
Now I'm going to tell you why that's exciting, because I've been in a situation where the director is like leaning over my shoulder and saying, play that last clip, play that one back, and you're like hitting buttons and everything, like, not that one, not that one, not that one, and then they just push you out of the way and take it over. So it's nice for them to be able to have that control themselves without, trying to direct you to change the TV, essentially.
Or pressing the wrong button. Actually, the inspiration for Sumo came from when Jeremy, COO, as you know, was up on set of Pirates of the Caribbean a couple of years ago. Two things that he saw up there that inspired Sumo to come to life was he, first of all, saw 50 of these things lying around on set, and he's like, we've got to get into this. This is, to see how many are used on set is one thing. But also the second thing, the reason he was on set, because the drone pilots were using our gear, but it was quicker for the director to come over to the Shogun at the time and hit play on that than it was to go to the DIT card. So the speed of playback just by having recording and monitoring on the one device is, in part the inspiration for Sumo.
So, I mean, the other thing is the HDR technology. I'm looking at the picture. It's amazing. So there are other products that have this, but not recording as well at the same time. This is the only thing that will do this. Video Village monitor, a director's monitor with recording, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the precision with which we do it is another thing. Because we've got total control over the whole monitor, we do everything in-house. There's no Lego engineering in what we do. It's end-to-end Atomos. We know our monitor inside out, so we're able to perfectly remap all of the log curves. So the accuracy of our HDR, we accept PQ, HLG, all of the Simply standards for HDR, so you're getting a really premium HDR display. The other thing is the price point. You're talking about what else is out there. Forgetting the recording side altogether, $2,500 for a 19-inch HDR monitor is just, it's amazing in itself, let alone all of the recording capability that we're able to do.
$2,500?
Yeah, 2495, shipping in Q3 of this year. On the input, you can do HDR as well. So if you're taking a signal in from a grading setup, from a software, NLE, you can be doing HDR grading, referring to the monitor as your HDR source, because your Mac on that is not HDR yet. So when you're doing your main grading, this can become your reference. It's not a reference monitor. That's why Sony still has a $20,000, $30,000 HDR. But for those who can't afford that kind of dollars, this is an incredible way to get into HDR and to try to charge more for your projects and to your clients to get into, take the log and don't just deliver it in SDR. Have a go at HDR by using this as your reference.
No, I know a post house in Burbank that just recently refurbed all of their monitors for HDR. It's here, so there's no doubt about it, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon, that's for sure. I assume that this works exactly like the other Atomos products. We've got all the scopes, the peaking and all that?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got your tools for exposure, focus, framing, so focus peaking, zebra, waveform, vector scope, RGB parade. You can upload your own LUTs, so the same way, .cube files straight on the SSDs, straight in there, and you can preset those. They go output to a larger monitor if you want to do that as well. So for creative reasons, the most accurate way to preview log is going to be using our HDR, because it's like a tailored fit for our panel. But if you do want for creative looks and things like that, you can upload your own LUTs as well.
And so it's got loop through on both the SDI and HDMI, right?
Yep, loop through and cross conversion. So it's similar to the Shoguns. If you want to if you're in an SDI workflow, which a lot of time we are, and you've got a consumer panel that's HDMI, you can take the SDI in and HDMI out straight to a panel. So it's very flexible for all the way you want to connect it on set.
So dual pro batteries, so endless power, all of the recording features at $2,500, dude. That's kind of amazing. Well, and you said when are we looking at availability?
Q3 of this year.
Excellent. And people want to find out more about this product or the other Atomos products. What do they do?
Head to the website atomos.com.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Tony.
Cheers.
HD SLR Shooters special coverage of NAB 2017. Sponsored by Akitio, Aperture, Atomos, Band Pro, Blackmagic Design, Carl Zeiss, Light in Motion, Manios Digital and Film, Shape, Schneider, Sakonic, and Xylite.